Boy, I really went down a rabbit hole on this one. Whoever animated this is an asshole. This is beautiful though. Well, I'm just gonna hide. And this video is brought to you by Electrifying Bumpers. Easy to apply. Just put a roll of bob wire in your bumper and some duct tape, and away you go. Let's put 2 rolls of duct tape, just in case. Let's try it. Turn it on, put the car in reverse, and drive through a bunch of zombies. Very effective. Get on my way. I have no insurance. Here we go. Well, shut her down. And if you call in the next 5 minutes, because we can't do this all day, we'll supply you another roll of duct tape. Just call the number 19L EC Bumper. First letter is D, which is the shape of the port. The next letter is the size of the port. And the number is the amount of pins. DA15. I know we have one on the Famicom, but no. We're not talking about that. How about the DB-25? We find those on the back of printers way back in the day. We're not talking about those. No, because those suck. Okay, how about a DC-37? Like DC Comics. No, we're not going to talk about that. How about double D50? Well, not exactly we're going to talk about that. Alright, what we're talking about is the DE-9 port, or also known as the DB-9 port, or as a lot of us would call the Atari port. When I went down this rabbit hole, I realized that there's a lot of systems that have it at port. Atari 2600, Atari 400, Atari 800, the Atari ST, which also has ports on the bottom, which makes no fucking sense to me, Atari 1200 XL, some Atari 7800, Amstrad, the TI-99-4 Texas Instrument, the VIC-20, Commodore 64, Commodore 128, the Amiga, the Panasonic A1 MK2, which has ports on the side, which is a predecessor to 3DO. The X68000, which has controller port 1 in the front and controller port 2 in the back. This is the FM Towns Marty ports in the front. ColecoVision, which the 2 ports on the top, and it's a bitch to put the controllers back in. Then we've got the SG100 and Television 2, still a bitch to put the controllers back in. Sega Master System, Mega Drive, the Sega Genesis Model 2. And there's a bunch of different other ports, but we're not going to be talking about those. Let's go back to the Atari 2600. The ports are in the back, which is stupid. Left controller, right controller, and they also have some weird joystick. I'm not going to talk about that one. On to the next one, Commodore. Let's start with the VIC-20, which only has 1 control port. How about the Commodore 64, which has 2 control ports, which takes a bunch of these different joysticks. And now we're going to talk about the Amiga, which also has 2 joystick ports. And these are the pin layouts for the Commodore, Amiga, and Atari. When you're looking at it from the front view, pin number 1 is up, pin number 2 is down, pin number 3 is left, pin number 4 is right, pin number 5 is pot, Y-axis, paddles only, pin number 6 is a fire button, pin number 7, 5-volt DC, pin number 8 is ground, and pin number 9 is pot, X, axis, paddles only. Now, let's check for the Sega Master System. Good old Sega Genesis. And the Model 2, of course, which is all the same. Controllers are ABC, which also has the 6-button configuration. Now for that one, 1 is going to be up, 2 is going to be down, 3 is going to be left ground, 4 is going to be right ground, 5 is going to be 5-volt DC, 6 is also button C and start, 7 is ground, 8 is select, 9 is B button, A button, 5-volt and ground, which is pin 5 and 7. Look at the pins, these are the colors of the wires. Now we're going to move on to the 3DO, Panasonic 3DO, or Gold Star, which also has a DE-9 port in the front, controllers, and now let's look at the pin placement, which is 1 is ground, 2 and 5 are 5-volt DC, 3 is audio right, 4 is audio left. 6 is doubt, means Mozzie, master out, slave in. 7 is clock, signal or sometimes referred to as logic beat. 8 and 1 is brown. 9 is din, which also means MISO, master in, slave out. Now these are the pins for 5 volt and ground, which here are the wire colors going into the system. 1 is brown, 2 is red, 3 is orange, 4 is yellow, 5 is green, 6 is blue, 7 is gray, 8 is white, 9 is black. And if you look at it from the front of the plug-in of the controller, it's the same but just backward. Now we're going to compare all three: Amiga, Commodore, Atari, pin number 7, pin number 8, now the Sega, 7 and 5, and then for the 3DO, 1, 2, 5, and 8. This just means you can't use different controllers on different systems. 3DO, Commodore 64, and Sega Genesis are not compatible. You can buy aftermarket adapters. Thanks to all those ports value, that makes life easier. Thanks for watching.